People ask me today, would I like to be playing today with a team like Barcelona or Real Madrid or Bayern Munich or Boca Juniors or Santos? I say no, absolutely not, because I'm an American kid, born in the Bronx, grew up in Roslyn. This is my home, and to be along for the ride. Somebody once told me, and the historians can debate it, but I think I've played with, as teammates, or against, what's usually considered 7 out of the 10 greatest players in the history of the sport. So, obviously Pelé and Carlos and Franz. I was a teammate of Eusebio, played against Cruyff, Maradona. So for that window of opportunity for a New York kid who was born in the Bronx and grew up right here and signed my first pro contract right on Hempstead Turnpike, for me to be along for the ride with that team and those players, while we really captured the imagination of New York and the country and the world, I wouldn't trade that for anything. I'd rather have done what I did than play today for Barcelona. And I owe it all to those guys and the team and the New York Cosmos and the growth and explosion of the sport. I mean, I've been hearing for 40 years, it's the sport of the 70s, sport of the 80s, sport of the 90s. The growth in this country, because of the magnitude, has been erratic and fragmented, and David alluded to some of the factors, but it's here. It's not going away. It's the world's greatest sport, and I'm going to circle back to Hofstra, because that's where we are. So I graduate Harvard, I play in the Olympic Games in '72, I'm enrolled in law school at Fordham, and I find out I get drafted by a team that I never heard of. I actually wasn't drafted, I was drafted by Montreal Olympique, and then Gordon Bradley, who I was playing for on Sundays in the German American League, he said, I'm going to trade Flash Oliveira for you, just so I have the rights to you. I said, who are you? He said, I'm the New York Cosmos. He said, come down to Hofstra, right here, and I'd like you to try out. So I tried out for 3 days. I thought I was spectacular. And Gordon said, right here at Hofstra, Shep, meet me at Burger King. I don't know if the Burger King is still here, but he said, meet me after practice at Burger King on Hempstead Turnpike. I said, great. So we go to Burger King, and I have about $2 in my pocket, and Gordon orders a cheeseburger, French fries, a Coke. I didn't have enough money, I just got French fries. And Gordon starts talking to me, and he said, look, you were really, really good. I thought you were, for a college player, you were pretty good. So I'm going to offer you a contract for $2,300. I'm thinking $2,300 a week, $2,300, I didn't know. And so I said, for how long? He said $2,300 for the season. Now I figured I'm a smart Harvard guy. I'm going to negotiate with him. And I said, what would you think, Gordon, if I told you I had to think about it? He took a bite of his cheeseburger and he said, I couldn't care less. So I signed the contract. And to go from that spot, here in Hofstra, Randall's Island, Giant Stadium, everybody knows the story. And it's still so almost emotional for me to have been part of it. Because people have written about it, they've done movies about it. That story about a very, very special team and an era in New York, that's lived on for 30, 40 years. And it's pretty cool to hear people write about it and talk about it. And all of us, we've stayed friends. Over the last 25 years or so, I'd be in Brazil, or Pelé would be here, or Franz would come in, and we'd all go to a buddy's restaurant, and all of us, for the last 30 years, would say, what about the New York Cosmos? What's going on? So George, I think, alluded to it also. Its disappearance almost made it more magical. It's like the New York Yankees going away. or Manchester United. It took off like a meteor, it captured everybody's imagination, and then it was gone. And the fact that it was gone while soccer was flourishing in the country made it that much more mystical. So I don't want to keep talking because George and I spoke about it. We love to leave room for Q&A. I'm thrilled these New York Cosmos of today are back. We were so proud of what we did back in the day. I know my kids or grandkids, I want them to be able to see the team that has that jersey. And I think soccer in America is better off for having the New York Cosmos back. So we'll entertain your questions later. Thank you.